Question 7 part A, show that 3 tan squared theta plus 5 sine squared theta is equal to this one here. So 3 tan squared theta plus 5 sine squared theta can actually be equal to tan. You can see that this one is all in terms of sine. So tan is sine over cosine, sine squared over the cosine squared, then plus 5 sine squared theta. Okay, and then using the Pythagorean identity, we know that sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. So meaning cos squared theta will be 1, then minus the sine squared. So here we shall have 3 sine squared theta out of 1 minus sine squared theta, then plus this 5 sine squared theta. Now, of course, this one is over 1. So the LCM here is going to be this 1 minus sine squared theta. So this divide by this, you get 1. Then times what is up here, we shall get 3 sine squared theta plus this divide by this, you get that 1 minus sine squared theta. Then we shall multiply it with this one, so that means we shall have 5 sine squared theta times 1 minus sine squared theta. Then when we open the brackets, this is 3 sine squared theta plus 5 sine squared theta minus 5 sine power 4 of theta divided by the 1 minus sine squared theta. So meaning, simplified, these ones we shall add them, and then we get the 8 sine squared theta minus 5 sine power 4 of theta divided by 1 minus sine squared theta. And this is what they wanted us to prove. Part B, hence sort of the equation, this one here. Remember, our equation, we got it as 8 sine squared theta minus 5 sine power 4 of theta over 1 minus sine squared theta. Then this one will be equivalent to 9. Now you cross multiply 8 sine squared theta minus 5 sine power 4 theta, which is equal to, remember this one is over 1, okay? Then 9 minus 9 sine squared theta. So bring everything this side. In fact, I want to deal with the coefficient of sine power 4 theta as a positive, so take everything this side. So it will be plus 5 sine power 4 of theta, and then 8, when it crosses it, is a minus, so it will be a minus 17. Minus 9 minus 8, that is minus 17. Then sine squared theta, then plus this 9, which is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation in sine squared theta. Okay, so this is 5 times 9. What do you get? 45. Two numbers which I can multiply to give me 45, but when I add them, they give me negative 17. What will they be? Are they there? They are not there. So that means I can use the bulldozer method, and we say that sine squared theta is going to be negative b. The b is a minus 17 plus or minus to the root of b squared, the root of b squared minus 4ac, then out of 2a. We know you can put this one in the calculator and you get the answer straight away, but remember they give a mark for attempting to solve the equation. So you show the examiner that you have substituted into the equation, then you can write down what you get from your calculator. Okay, so this one is going to be 17, then plus or minus, what do we have inside there? Suppose you put this one in the calculator and you have 5 here, then negative 17, then the other one is 9 out of 10. You see? Now, sine squared theta, you take the plus 17 plus root of 109 over 10, and then also sine squared theta can be equal to 17 minus root of 109 over 10. Now this one here is a positive. Okay, how about the other one with the negative? This one is also positive. Okay, because we are supposed to take the square root. So if one of them were negative, then we are going to dismantle it. And of course, we know that sine is positive in the first hand, it is here, and in the second quadrant here it is negative. Okay, so 0, this is 90 degrees, this is 180, this is 270, this is 360. If I have this as my theta, then I project it down here as a theta. That means to get an angle in the third quadrant is 180 plus theta. If I project it here and here, as that is the theta, then this will be 360 minus theta. That is if you're moving from here up to there. Okay, and then also moving from here up to here, that one will be 180, then minus theta. So our theta here is going to be equal to the arc sine of, first of all, you take the square root, and when you take the square root, it is plus or minus. Okay, plus or minus the square root of now 17 plus root of 109 over 10. Okay, the same thing we are going to have this other side here. Okay, theta will be that. However, I'll just change this one here to a minus. If the value is greater than 1, that means its square root is also going to be greater than 1, and sine does not go beyond 1. Okay, so when you get the arc sine, by the way, since the domain is given in degrees, the calculator has to be in degrees also. So we have to change our calculator to degrees. Now, we shall get arc sine. Since sine does not exceed 1, if you take arc sine, let's say square root of this 17 plus root of 109, this one will automatically give you math error. Okay, so that means this one here, we leave it. Okay, we just write undefined, and then we focus on this one here. We are going to have two values. Theta is equal to the arc sine of square root of 17 minus root of 109 over 10. And then another one, theta is going to be the arc sine of the square root of 17 minus root of 109 over 10. But this one here is a minus. Okay, that is what we are going to have there. So I'm going to extend this one a little bit, this other side. Let's get these answers. So I'll come to this one and then I will put a minus. Okay, so we get 54.1, 54.1. That is one decimal place. Now that is in the first quadrant, and sine is also positive in the second quadrant. So meaning I'll get 180 minus this 54.1. Okay, then here this one is negative. it is the same thing, but only with the negative. So meaning the answer you are going to get is negative 54 point what? 0.1. So, and we don't have the answers which are negative in our domain. Okay, so you dismantle that. In other words, you go to the quadrants where sign is negative. So the quadrants where sign is negative is this one and this one here. But since we are not supposed to exceed 270, then I'll take this one 80. Here I'll have 180, then plus this 54.1. So altogether, my theta is going to be 54.1. Then this one minus 54.1, and also when we add it, what we get? 180 minus 54.1, that is 125.9. 125.9 degrees. Then the next one, I'll just come here and then I add. Then it will give us 234.1. 234.1 degrees. That is to one decimal place. And that is that.